What's going on, my fellow model building YouTube friends? It's James the Yorkshire Modeller back with you again, and we now have issue 75 of the Hachette Partworks Battleship Bismarck. So with issue 75 of the Bismarck, we are attaching the next hull section. I'd want to talk about that one in a minute, but we're also getting quite a lot of details for the upper deck. Now this is going back to this one. So the deck that we did way back. So all these little plant-on gaps down here, and there's a few up here and a few little bits around down here as well. I think we are going to be filling most of those in. Now I don't understand why they've given us this bit up to what we've done here and then waited another 70 odd issues, 50 odd issues to get to this point. There'll be a reason, he says. So, now what I have gone ahead and done already, I'll just pop this out to the side, and by the way, if you hear a rustling, I have, in fact you can just make him out on camera just there, that's my house rabbit Merlin. He's 11 next month, not that you'd be able to tell. So, if you do hear any rustling, he's having a look in the DVD cabinet. Bags, rather. So what I have gone ahead and done already is I've already attached this hull panel. Now this hull panel doesn't have the same connectors. So it's just got two like rectangular holes there and there. I think we're working towards the internal part. So when the Bismarck was first launched, the magazine, not the actual ship, when the magazine was launched, there was part of it that said that there was some of the internals of the actual ship that you could see. I think we're starting to get towards that bit now. So yeah, that was the bit I just wanted to mention to you. So we're going to bring this deck back in. Just like this. So, we've already fitted that bit of the hull, so what I'm going to do is we're going to start with some of these plant-on bits. So I've got a little pot here with just a little bit of super glue in. So, take the upper deck assembly from issue 18, that's how far back we're going. We are literally going back 40 odd issues, so I don't know why they've left it this long. Maybe they are trying to spread the parts out quite a lot. Position it carefully on your work surface, supporting it so that the gear housing and other details on the other side of the deck are not damaged. Take two bollards, 75/3, and check the fit in the recesses in the deck section. So, 75.3 are these ones just here. So there's just 4 on the sprue, and these all go in very similar positions. So what I'll do, I'll just clip these off the sprue here. That's 1 and that's 2. Now I'm just going to clip all of them off. Put that over there, and then I'm just going to twist the actual bollards themselves off. So that's 2 of them. 3, 4. So these bollards go in very specific positions, and they go next to the gun. So it's those 2 holes, that one there and that one there. So those 2 there and there, and then the same on the other side here. So it's that one there and it's that one there. So I'm just going to turn this deck round this way so I can see exactly what it is that I am doing. Now these are quite big parts, so it should be nice and easy for you to do on these. Yeah, I don't understand why we're going back to this bit. I know I mentioned it in the video for issue 19, issue 20, somewhere way back then, a year ago pretty much, of doing this build, saying that we were going to get the parts in a later issue, but they never kind of materialised, and obviously now we all know why. They were waiting until nearly issue 80 to finish them. So hopefully this will be this part of the deck all done. Now there are some things that people have mentioned on the Facebook groups about this, which I'm going to bring to your attention in just a minute, because there's some parts that we glue onto. I'm not sure if it's this barbette or the second one for the 38cm guns. That one's not going in properly. There we go, that's in. Right, so that's those two. There's 4 bollards, sorry, hold on. So yeah, we'll get to that bit with the barbette where we just need to be careful with the glue in a minute. So that's those done. So that's stage 1 and 2. Step 3 is cut, still working on the port side of the deck. Check the position of the first roll of fairlead to the aft of the bollards. So that is going to go, I would guess from looking at the pictures, in those 2 holes. So there's that one there and that one there, and then exactly the same on this side, that one there and then that one just there. So for this, I'm just going to check back through the instructions and see which one this is. So this is part 75.4. So 75.4 are on another separate sprue. So again, there's 2 of these. I'll just show them on the close cam just there. So there's 2 of these on this one. Just exactly the same with these. Now these are attached to the sprue by the little pegs. So make sure you don't cut those pegs off, because that's what's going to attach it to the deck. So they are pulled off there. So I'm just going to do exactly the same thing with this one. Now I'm going to need my tweezers for this. So, bit of glue, and then I'll just get this into position. Make sure it's the right position. 2 holes there, 2 holes there, yes, it's there. Okay, I'm just going to swing this around just so I can get that in like that. In there like that. There we are, so that's one of the roller fairleads in. And then we're just going to do exactly the same thing with the other one. Now, one thing that did just happen there to me was, as I was holding the part, it slipped in my tweezers. So it kind of went like that. So I'm holding it at an angle. That seems to be a little bit of an easier way of holding it, and then I don't think it's going to spray off and go somewhere into the carpet, and then either the carpet monster or Merlin will eat it. So swing this around, and then we're just going to pop this exactly the same position on the opposite side. There we are. That's one's in there. So that's stages 3 and 4. Stage 5, cut part B from the frame 75-2. Remove any rough edges. Check the position of the detail in the recess on the front of the forward 38cm gun and glue in place. So now we are on to this quite big sprue here. Now part B on this sprue is this one, just here, this kind of vent at the back. So we'll twist that off. No rough edges on there. I'm just going to get my scalpel and just, there are a couple of little burrs in the plastic, so I'm just going to get rid of those. Like that. And then what we do with this one, we're fitting it into that square hole just there. So just where the tip of my needle file is, just there, that's where this one's going. So I'm going to pop this to face in towards me just so I can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to get my tweezers. Now, which way around does this go? Because it is slightly sloped. I think it will go sloping away. Yeah, looks like the sloping part faces away from the gun. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to dab it into the glue. Now this is liquid super glue that I'm using here. There we go, it might be a bit too much, I'll take some of that off. So yeah, liquid super glue, because the gel that I was using just wasn't quite cutting it when it came to parts like this. I couldn't get it to sit properly. So I'm just thinking, using the thinner glue just means that it's more capillary action, so when you put it on, it will just catch rather than splurting out the sides if you don't put too much on. So part A, there are 3 part A's on this sprue, so the 3 part A's are these 3 just here. Now the first one, cut hatch A from the frame and fit it and fit the first one into the recess in the deck section 10-1 as shown, glue in place. So this is going to go, this hatch is going to go into this hole just here, or tilt it the other way, so it's going to go into the little hole just there. So now this time I'm going to do this with the glue on there, so it's kind of reactivating the Humbrol wash that I used to weather the deck. So this is going to be interesting, trying to fit this in here. There we go, that's it. So if I just drop that in there like that, that clips in there nicely. So that's that one done. And the aft of the 31st to the aft of the forward 38cm gun, fit the second and third hatches, glue in place in a slight recess in the deck as shown. So that is going to go in that one just there, and the one in exactly the same place on the opposite side there. So just twist these off the sprue. Keep these on here. So I'm just going to put glue into this one here. And then, because these ones aren't in such an awkward position, just plonk those one there. And then just a little bit of glue into the hole for this one here as well. And then plonk this one down. What are you doing back there, Merle? There we go. So that's those 2 hatches attached on there as well. Now check the instructions for turning the forward 38cm gun in issue 18. To stop the gun in the desired position, turn off the power using the switch of the battery box. Turn the gun slightly to the starboard side, cut part C from the frame, fix one in place on the barbette as shown, using a little super glue. Now this is the part that people have had problems with. So on this sprue we've got these little parts here, so it's more these ones at the bottom that have got the kind of curved edges. What people have noticed a problem with is when they've glued them on to the back of the gun, because there's 2 little, not sure whether I'll be able to get them on camera to be honest. Oh yeah, quite easily. So there's those 2 little holes just there. If you put too much super glue on these parts, it fuses the gun, so it just will not move. There's been a couple of people on the Facebook group, one of the Facebook groups, that have mentioned that. So I am going to do this as little as possible. I'm going to try not to move the gun because everything for the motor and everything is packed away in the other room. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip these off of the sprue, 1 and 2, there. I'm going to put a dab, tiny little dab of super glue onto these 2 little just looking at the instructions again here. So the part C's go towards the front in the 2 little holes at the front, and then the part D's go in the 2 little holes towards the back. Right, so I've just picked off the part D. So I'm going to do this bit a little bit back to front. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of super glue on these, just on the top of these 2 pegs, because that should still hold it in place. And then what I'm going to do is just try my best. Hang on, up a little bit more, there we go. Right, that is actually very, very easy to put into place. Not quite level, but I'm happy enough with that. There we go. Right, so that's one of these 2 parts in. So you can do it without moving the gun, it just is a little bit more difficult, and I am a glutton for punishment. So, glutton for punishment, I'm building 3 models and they're all large scale. Although, I have to be honest, they are good kits. They are very nice kits to build, these ones. I've not really come into any problems with any of them yet. The Bismarck's probably the one that I've been most annoyed with. So these 2 here, I'll just show you this one, with the straighter edges like that, goes at the front, in the same little 2 holes. So yeah, the Bismarck's the one I've probably been most annoyed with in terms of the build, just because there seems to be a lot of kind of hassle and, you know, missing parts when you could do with them. You know, like these bits, we should have had these quite a while ago. So we could have done with these like in issue 19 to complete most, so we could complete the actual front deck of the Bismarck. So yeah, we could have done with all these bits quite a while ago. But it's still a very nice model. There are things about it that I really, really like. The motorised parts and everything in there. That's in, lovely. Just about. I'm just going to take this one off. So yeah, there are bits that I like about this model, bits that I don't like. In terms of the don't likes, obviously, like I say, the fact that there's like, you'll get, some weeks you'll just get a label to attach to a cable, and then other weeks you've got so much plastic it's ridiculous. Then again, a couple of weeks later you'll get very little to do, and then a couple of weeks after that you'll have a whole 38cm gun to build. I just think it'd be nice if sometimes these partwork manufacturers just gave you enough parts to kind of wet your whistle, like they're doing with the Spitfire. Actually, there's just enough parts with the Spitfire to keep you entertained, and with the Ferrari F40 that's the same. When those parts start coming through, I have had an email today about that actually, so I'll have to do a separate video about that. But yeah, so we'll get this little pipe work in place. There we go. So that's all the pipe work done. So we've got the 2 little bits of piping like that one, whoops, just there at the back, and then we've got the same just there at the front. So that, if you'll forgive the dust on the top of this, that is it for issue 75. I'll just put the deck of the Bismarck over there. So yeah, that's everything. Issue 76, we get parts of the rope reels plus rope together with supports, ladders and hoods for the searchlights. Also included is an antenna and parts for another stand. So yeah, we're getting through it now, ploughing on. So that video will be up next Saturday. Back to weekly videos now that I've caught up with all the builds. So yeah, issue 76 of the Bismarck will be up next Saturday. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to the Yorkshire Modeller for more weekly model building geekiness, and I will see you in the video for issue 76 on Saturday next week. So until then guys, please remember, happy modelling and stay safe.